I gotta hold my composure, dude. They're charging $7 for knockoff D3s. We can finally talk and make videos about EA Skate, and I've had a lot of comments in my previous Skate 4 video. People were saying, hey, you're not a part of the playtest. You don't know what this game's gonna feel like. You haven't played it yet. Or a lot of people were saying, you gotta be appreciative for this. Like, we've waited so long. I totally get it. I totally get that mindset. I've been a part of this playtest for quite a while now, almost a year. To everyone saying that I'm just hating on the game to hate on the game, that is completely not true. I've played all of the Skate games ever since Skate 1. I've played everything from Tony Hawk to Session, and I like the arcadey games and the realistic games. And this game is obviously taking parts of both, which they do some things very right and they do some things very weird. I just want to see this game succeed. I've had a lot of fun with the playtest, but I've also had a lot of concerns. But in this video, I'm going to show you guys the game and I'm going to talk about how it feels. Some of the things I really like, some of the things I really dislike. Anyway, let's play the game and just see what it's all about. So the unfortunate part of the early access build now released is that I had to start this game over like 3 different times. So all my progress was gone from the first playtest. I have to start a new character, get everything from scratch, which is kind of a bummer, but it is what it is. I'm not sure how far we are into the main missions. So the first like 50 to 100 missions are like pseudo tutorial missions. I wish for the veteran Skate players you could just skip through all of this stuff, because I think everyone knows how to caveman and do all that junk. Some of the things that I pointed out in my first Skate video was how the gameplay feels. The gameplay feels amazing. There's a lot of people now making videos that are showing off how to get better gameplay. If you go to the settings, there's a crap ton of new enhancements, like being able to toggle on certain tricks. The advanced camera control is actually really good. And one of the coolest things that they did add was the ability to switch sides of the camera. That was a biggest pet peeve of mine, and thankfully they added it. And they even have a toggle for like your grind assist amount, the pump amount, which is really cool. All of these little things add up to just tailor how you want to play, which if you're playing realistically or if you want to play more trick liney, like you can do that now. And you can also just choose right here from like 3 different presets: classic, streamlined, and experienced, just so you don't have to like go into the settings and toggle it yourself. But luckily that option is there, and that is super cool. For the longest time in the playtest, you couldn't do a lot of graphics settings, so this just allows you to fine-tune your performance, which I'm very thankful that they added. If you've been keeping up on all the trick enhancements and all the stuff that they added to the overall control, you can now do slow flip tricks. So depending on the input that you put in, so you can now do them like super fast or you can do them super slow. They've also added a bunch of different off-board mechanics, like you can now climb up buildings. I do think this adds a bit of variety where you can find spots that you can't normally get to. They've also added little things like being able to just set up your board for a drop in and then just hold it and then just go right in. That was supposed to look a lot better. Anyway, this is how it's actually supposed to look. Boom, drop in. It's a little buggy. Most of the time it works. You can also do things like roll-ins. You're supposed to. With all of the cool new improvements to transition and all the flip tricks, they've also like removed or haven't added all of the original tricks from Skate 3, Skate 2. So that's kind of a bummer. I'm just like, I wish they would have had those at the start, but they've made a developer video that talks about them adding them.
This drop is big.
Shut up. But they've already made a couple announcements, like they're going to add impossibles, dark slides, and so we'll see what happens in the future. The majority of people complaining about this game is all about the looks, and I cannot deny it. I've been saying this since the last video. I do not like the look of this game. I think the lighting is amazing. I think some of the textures look great, but the overall style, the art style of this game, it's pretty bad. If you like it, that's awesome. That's really cool. People are also just comparing it to Fortnite or Sims. I can't deny that. It's like, it's pretty obvious. I keep hearing that they're going to eventually change the look. I don't know if that's true, but God, I can only hope. With how good the game feels with realistic stuff, it would only help cater that kind of stuff a little bit further. Some of these character models look so absurd to me. It's kind of just uncanny with all this lighting stuff happening, just looking at this blob of a character. The clothing options are pretty cool. There is a decent amount of stuff that you can unlock in the game without paying, but a lot of it is very, very bland, repetitive stuff. Like you're gonna get a blue shirt. Oh, you're gonna get a white shirt. It sucks because if you compare it to the old games and see how much stuff they had in that game that you got rewarded to constantly, I want that here. But I know they have to make money. It's a free-to-play game, guys. I get it. But the main game loop is unlocking cool stuff. It's what the hell? Did you guys see that guy fling off the screen? That was insane. But I'm hoping that a lot of the in-game events will have a lot of stuff to unlock in the future. We'll see. There were so many comments of people saying that I don't know how a free-to-play game works, and of course I do. But the bottom line is, like, I don't want this game to be a free-to-play game. If we go down here, maybe you can see a couple different players, but like there's some times where I don't want to see other people skating the same spot that I'm skating. Like I just want to invite my friends to play. Like I don't care if it's filled with like hundreds of different online players at one time. It doesn't add anything for me personally. If you like that, that's awesome. That's super cool. But I really think they're just trying to be Riders Republic, and I think Riders Republic is a very special kind of thing. I don't think this game needs to copy that format at all. Another huge pet peeve of mine is the characters that you get to meet throughout the game. You got returning characters like Shingo or Slappy, but they're obviously different voice actors and they lack so much character. The term I can describe best of how they talk to you is skate-splaining. It's like mansplaining, but it's just skate terminology. There's some missions with Shingo where he tells you what footy is and he explains, he's like, it means footage. Okay. Like, I don't think people are gonna be too confused by that one. And another term that they use a lot is use your skater eyes. What does that mean? It feels like if AI was writing a script about skateboarding and trying to make it cool and funny, it does not hit. Every single time the V character talks, I freak out. It just annoys the crap out of me, dude, because they just treat you like you're dumb. Like they treat you like you're a 2-year-old. And you know, I gotta keep in mind, like, this game is obviously tailored for kids. It's not really for the core skateboard audience. For everything that they get right with skateboard culture, they also do terribly wrong. I'm gonna talk about the overall challenge structure and kind of the gameplay loop. So there's challenges all over the map. Now, a lot of the challenges are just copy and paste. I get that, like, it's just do a trick here, collect a thing here. But you'll notice after like 5 challenges that they don't really get too intuitive. Some of the challenge variety lacks heavily because they don't have game modes like skate anymore or deathmatch anymore. And they're also missing all of the pro skaters from the old games, and that just added so much variety to each mission. Like the mission where you had to play skate with Eric Costin and Mike Carroll, or missions where you had to like go find the deer man of the dark woods or whatever. Those missions were so memorable, but now you have missions where you have to go like collect bags of poop. What happened to the road? What's going on? And this is also a good time to mention because look at the missing texture in the road. There is still a lot of bugs and weird glitchy stuff with this game. They can totally use the early access card as their explanation, but I don't think there's any excuse for a game that's been in development for over 5 years now. I have my thoughts on why this game turned free to play in the first place, and I think there was a huge course correction at EA with this game, and at least a single player experience being on the table. I think that was totally pushed aside, and obviously they went for the free-to-play model, which I honestly have my doubts whether this is going to be a success or not. Stuff like the Demon Bundle, like I don't know if this is going to be enough to get kids to want to buy cosmetics in this game, and it's certainly not enough to get like the core skateboard culture in on this. I remember characters from the old game like the Meat Guy or Dem Bones, but like some of this stuff just seems really cheap and generic to me. Like this skateboard looks like a Walmart board, and I'm not about it, man. Look, you can get emotes too. That's cool. I don't know. I can't get behind it. Hold up. Do they have knockoff D3s? They have knockoff Osiris D3s in this game. I'm gonna freak out, dude. D-trays? I gotta hold my composure, dude. They're charging $7 for knockoff D3s. That's insane. And one thing that really rubbed me the wrong way was they have this thing called Founders Deluxe Pack, which is for the playtesters. This is what we got. We have to pay $50 for a really crappy version of Meat Man and a mocap suit. There is some cool shirts in there, some nice Vans, but that's not cool, man. We played this game for so long and tested it, and we have to pay $50 for a Founders Pack. I've heard a lot of people talk bad about this Founders Pack, but I know it's optional, dog. But like, we put in a lot of work, we put in a lot of feedback, and this is what we get. We get a premium season pass and some weird wacky skins, dude. Now I'm going to talk about one of the most important parts of this game is the map design. I think a lot of the world feels alive. The pedestrians are pretty reactive. I remember early on in the playtest, they didn't really do much. We're still missing the road texture here. I don't know where that went. Anyway, some of the like cityscape stuff looks pretty damn good. It really starts to kind of wither away the believability when you get towards like the skate spot kind of areas. Like some of this stuff just seems like not realistic enough. And a lot of it is just so spread out and just flat that it doesn't have a lot of like spot variety. Where this problem comes really apparent is at the skate parks themselves. If you guys have ever been to a skate park or have skateboarded, you know that a mini ramp is not supposed to be this wide. Like, just seeing how insane this looks kind of baffles me. Like, this is one of the most boring mini ramps ever. It has like the longest time to get to the other ramp. Little details like this actually matter, and it makes the game a lot less fun. And I understand like the old skate games, they size things differently to adhere to the gameplay style, but some of these design choices are just really, really strange to me. And like I said earlier, with every improvement they added, there's also a handful of things that they didn't add that take away from the overall experience. Like one, there's no finger flips when you do grabs, and that kind of bums me out because that added another variety to transition skating. Also, I don't know if I'm doing it wrong, but pumping just feels really inconsistent. Even with the pump assist like fully on, it doesn't feel right, and I don't know why that is. I've tried a couple different variations. So for every bad thing I say, I'm gonna say some good stuff too. The grinding feels a lot better on transition. That looked insane. That was a horrible example. The grinding, you can just scoot right into it. So there is a decent amount of stuff that they added to help transition. It still needs some good quality work. I think the flow feel of like how you actually skate inside of a pool or a bowl, they should really try to replicate that kind of feeling. That's something that Skater XL and Session have struggled on for the longest time, was how to get transition skating just really tight. I think Skate 3 had some of the best feeling transition skating mechanics. That's when they introduced like drop-ins and different variations of inverts. I'm going to talk about the grind mechanics for a little bit. I'm going to find a good ledge and show you guys some of the really cool things that they've added. So now you can turn into another grind. So you can start with a 5-0 and then go all the way to a nose grind. That's really sick. And now you can also grind and then pop onto the table and then just continue another line. One cool thing you can do with popping onto the table is going from the grind, pop onto the table into a manual, and then pop out. It's the little things like that that they added that add so much variety. And you can also still do stuff like ollie norths, ollie south, whatever. I'm gonna take you guys up here to the Land Sharks building and show you guys some of the weird wacky stuff that you can do. So this was one of the first areas I hopped into for the playtest, just to check out all the different new mechanics. For the off-board stuff, you can do stuff like slide, like this, which you also get momentum when you go down stuff. You can also slide on your stomach too, so you can just like belly dive into the slide. All of the Hall of Meat kind of stuff is still here, obviously more refined. You can still do like the karate kick and the torpedo. But one thing I didn't even know during the playtest was I saw Zexy Zach make a video about how you can bail and then you can also go into a trick. That kind of blew my mind. That was pretty freaking sweet. So you can do all this crap, grab the board, and then just go into a ramp. Okay, we're gonna do it the easy way. Hey, That's not that bad. So you can do a ton of wacky, crazy off-board stuff and then go on board with it too. Really cool. There's tons of parkour mechanics, like you can wall run now. So you can wall run, backflip, do all that kind of crazy crap. And honestly, I don't mind all of the parkour mechanics. I think they add a bunch of variety, and especially because there's so many weird trick liners that are doing glitches and all that crazy stuff. Like, I enjoy seeing that. I think it's fun. But at the end of the day, I think all my problems just really stem from the fact that it doesn't really feel like a skateboard kind of game. You know, like it is a skateboard game, 100%, but it feels more like a Roblox kind of game, like something that is going to be like heavily tailored towards getting challenges done and getting all the seasonal stuff. Like, that's all fine and well, but it's not going to be my kind of game. And this is coming from someone who plays Fortnite pretty regularly. I am so familiar with that kind of free-to-play style, but I guess time will only tell whether this game succeeds or not, and I really hope it does. At the end of the day, guys, like, I really hope this game succeeds. I'll continue to make videos on this game as long as they keep doing stuff. I think it'll be fun and interesting. And I also see a lot of content creators getting hate right now because they're really happy and having fun, or trying to at least. And I think the OG skate content creators just want a fun skateboard game to play again. Like, their channels do very well when a game is succeeding and they're having fun playing it. And as long as the audience likes it, we'll see. We only went over a little bit of the stuff added to this game. I want to see a lot changed, but I think there's a lot of good here. But I want to hear what you guys have to think. There's so many comments floating around out there with so many different thoughts and ideas. I'm somewhere in the middle, especially right now. Do you guys think this game's gonna tank in a year? Do you guys think it's gonna succeed? Please let me know. I appreciate you guys taking the time and watching all these videos. It means a lot to me. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next one.